say here what is Graph API is like by default PowerShell doesn't support the Intune operations. Like we required like a Graph API need to be installed on top of PowerShell. Then we can manage Intune also from the from the PowerShell itself. So now here it's one of the API to communicate with the Microsoft 365 and with the Microsoft like Intune, Azure AD, Teams. For all that, by default, PowerShell doesn't have the capabilities. Then we need to integrate this gateway API. We need to integrate. Then we can perform the operations like compliances, application deployment, reporting. All these we can do. We can do it through with the Graph API we can do, and even we can integrate the like Azure AD also, app registrations, then permissions, device management. All these we can perform not only from the PowerShell. Like even developers can use these programmatically also by using the Python or maybe any of the Java-based REST APIs also they can use. So what are the things we can perform from the Microsoft Graph APIs? Like we can get the device enrollment list, we can get it, or wipe off the devices, or compliance policies automatically we can apply. So then we can generate the reports. All these we can integrate, and even for the third party kind of applications also, our own applications also we can integrate by using those APIs. Uh, we can perform either PowerShell we can do, or from the APIs also we can perform. Okay, and even automation also we can using the endpoints provided by the Graph API we can integrate. Okay, so for that purpose with the PowerShell, we are going to, so maybe in the next class, I'll show some scenarios how we can integrate with the PowerShell also with the Microsoft Graph API. We can discuss. So mostly the automation we can do it through the PowerShell itself. And so some companies may be using like service now they're using for the tickets and any support tickets we have now maybe for onboarding all the automation all that also we may integrate with like this we need to work with the service now developers need to work then they can integrate even service now with the Intune also. What is the advantage is if any ticket comes from the service now, that is the ITSM tool, automatically we can manage those devices, compliances, configurations, all these we can manage. So automatically we can perform the device discovery. Then we can do the self-service kind of automation we can integrate. But by default, we don't get this. Like even we need a ServiceNow developer also is required for this. Whereas the Microsoft is providing one app integration app is providing with the Graph API like this using the REST APIs. We are going to communicate. Okay, so now here we need to import those CMDB, these kind of things using the REST APIs. We can integrate with the Intune with the ServiceNow also. But we need to provide the APIs, all these to the ServiceNow developer. Then from the ServiceNow developer, we can integrate. This is also like using the Microsoft Graph API. It is going to be like a provided. Then if the user request any of the a request like maybe self-registration or wiping of the device or retiring of the device, then ServiceNow is going to trigger a REST API call to the Graph API. Then that Intune Graph API will execute that action instead of manually one administrator is going to be performed. Okay, so these kind of integration also we can do with the Intune with the service now. Okay, so that is using the Graph API, we can perform. Then here we want to do the certificate deployment like to the device. Then here we have on premises we have our certificate authority we have, but we want to deploy our certificates to the devices. So now here when we want to deploy the certificates, maybe for the Wi-Fi we have the certificates or VPN for the email authentications. So for this purpose we need to set up those certificates. Then like here we are going to use NDES is there, that is a Network Device Enrollment Service, that is acting as the bridge between Intune and that internal certificate authority. That means CA is on premises and NDS is act as a bridge between Intune and NDES because it's a hybrid kind of environment. And whenever the device requests a certificate from the Intune send the request to the certificate connector, then it's forward to NDES. Then from that it's from the certificate authority, the certificate is going to be provided. So these like when we need the certificates with the on-premises devices, that's we need to set up. Like without having NDS also we can set up, but mostly companies will use NDES, like that is like a uh, network device enrollment service. Network device enrollment service. We are going to provide the certificates we are going to provide. Otherwise, like we have a Wi-Fi policy. In the Wi-Fi policy also, like if we want to deliver the certificates, we need to install a Windows server to support the certificates, and we need to import those templates. And from the Intune policies, we are going to attach those Wi-Fi or VPN profiles. We are going to manage. So for this, we need to have a connector, like Intune certificate connector need to be installed in the on-premises. We need to install the certificate provider we need to use. Okay, then here Intune maybe like in our environment we may have already other third party MDMs also we can have. So then whenever we want to implicate like a Intune with those third party MDM tools, what are the issues we have? Those also we need to discuss. Suppose we want to integrate with any of the third party tools also. Okay, so that's one of the problem is like Intune with Azure AD or Entra ID, it provides very well conditional access and identity also is managed. But whenever we are using any third party MDMs, that required their own APIs need to be communicated. That's like the compliance policies, we are getting a gap between them. So maybe the device is not marked properly as a non-compliance kind of devices. And the data storage wise also, if you use the Intune, like it's going to store the data in the Microsoft 365 services, and in that compliance itself, it's going to store. But when we use the third-party MDMs, like maybe in the like other than Microsoft Cloud, those data may be kept. So that is also one of the risk we may have. But those providers also definitely will follow the GDPR or regulational compliances, but we need to have that risk is there. And even the certificate authority, all these also is one of the challenge. So now here Intune works natively with the Microsoft certificate authority, but third party MDMs may use their own certificate providers also they may use. That's also maybe exposes the security risk, and the surface attacks also may be increasing. And sometimes we need to enforce the security baselines also we need to enforce. Those baselines may be not supported by the like those baselines have been not supported by the third-party tools also. That is also like the devices may be non-compliance, we may get. And even at the app registration wise also will get data leakage kind of issues also will be getting patch management, OS updates. So these kind of problems will get and API abuse. So these kind of risk also we have. So that is the purpose. Like better to use like in tune with the Microsoft kind of services, but it supports third-party MDMs, but there would be some compliance-wise the gaps, data privacy-wise also will have the gaps would be there. So the and even like with the like Azure AD with the like Intune and conditional access and Defender, Microsoft 365. So these will give the complete end-to-end like security. But if you use any of the third-party MDM tools, like some compliances like maybe sync issues may comes and data is going to be stored in their device in their like providers also, and security baselines patching and app level protection may be risk kind of things. So that is the purpose like always Intune is not recommended to use with any of the third party kind of tools. Because whenever they want to communicate with the Azure AD, they want REST API connectors it required, and some compliance gaps would be there. And data also may be stored in the non-Microsoft cloud. That also may be one of the risk we have. Then patch management also is one of the challenge, and like certificate authorizations also is the risk we have with the third party. Okay, so that's not like a supported, not like that. Even we can enhance the security, but some more burden is there, and even it may delays the compliance sync and like a weaker app level protection. We are going to get. It's recommended to go with the Intune for the organizations. Already those are in the Microsoft 365, but it supports even the third-party MDM tools also. It supports. It's going to support even those third-party tools also. It is going to support like this. We need to answer this. And PowerShell remoting again we need to use like a Graph API itself. We need to use. Say if you want to like if you have the Intune managed Windows devices, those also like we can manage even from the like a Graph API. We need to install, and we need to like we can manage those devices also from the WinRM kind of things we need to set up. So for this, we need to install endpoint analytics. Those all we need to perform. Then using that, we can manage. Okay, so remoting PowerShell remoting also we can integrate even with the SCCM also we can integrate. Then we can do the WinRM to Intune managed devices also, because those not joined into the domain, but remote PowerShell scripts we can run on those missions also. So this how to run this PowerShell, all these in the tomorrow session I'll explain. Okay, so then already we discussed this SCCM to like migration to what are the prerequisites we need to check, and how to transmit like those devices into Intune. Okay, so then here one more our CIO company like want the complete protection to all the apps, and he want to give the like a geofencing kind of thing. Using the Intune, we need to provide like a security for those. like the completed data level, we need to provide the security. So now here we need to use like mostly like all the Microsoft applications like Office 365 apps, VPN. Based on the geographical, we need to. What is the meaning of geofencing? Is like if the users are in the US, only from the US itself they want to connect. They shouldn't come to India. From their India, they don't want to connect because like we want to prevent that kind of risky kind of apps from the other geographical locations. We don't want to allow. And even like only from the from the office or from the approved countries only we want to give the access. And if any of the device is coming from the unauthorized locations, we should block that, and we need to detect that kind of things also. We need to specify. So in order to perform these kind of implementation, we need to use like Azure AD conditional access we can use. Then we need to provide the countries and regions which are supported, or we can use the IP ranges. Then from this, we need to configure the conditional access policy, and we need to provide the MFA also for the outside trusted countries, and other countries we are going to block it. And even from this is from the Azure AD wise we are going to do. Then from the Intune wise, we need to specify the app protection policy also we need to specify. So then, even with the if the user login from the any of the unauthorized country or blocked country, like our apps also is not going to be syncing. So that is also we can do even at our enterprise VPN level and firewall level also that kind of geo restrictions we can apply. But user is going to come with the VPN device. And the device also we are going to keep it as a non-compliance we are going to keep. So here this we can enforce by using Azure AD conditional access. And in that conditional access, we need to provide the named locations, and we need to choose which of the countries we want to allow, and IP ranges we need to provide, and that conditional access policy we need to specify. So that's we need to explain to our CIO, like these are the things we need to implement. Then we can ensure zero trust enforcement. And even if you integrate with the MFA for the unauthorized users, that remote regions also we can give, but we are enabling the MFA for that also we can implement. So this will prevent our data loss from the unauthorized locations, so from the roaming devices also, like we are providing the security for our application devices. Okay, so these we need to set up. Say but the user also may come with like a VPN kind of like a VPN user also is not directly connecting from the India kind of thing. He may also use the uh, device. So that is also like a so we need to detect that also need to intelligently need to detect because that user is in India, but he may be also connecting through the uh, like a uh, uh, we need to detect that kind of settings also. Then according to that we need to manage. So now here the next scenario is, so we need to have the fully locked down kiosk devices we have, and we need to manage only one app it need to run. Other things like on the device we don't want to support. Means only our own enterprise app itself need to support on the device. We don't want to run like other apps. We shouldn't run on that. Okay, so these kind of requirement we have. That means like we have a kiosk device. That kiosk device may be run multiple applications, and they may have internal taskbar, these kind of things. But I don't want to run those kind of things. Device should be fully locked down, and it's a corporate owned device. Only one approved app. Say suppose I have my billing app, only that billing app need to run. Okay, and I want to display some of the product catalogs. Only those it need to run. Okay, so first we need to, our development team need to prepare that app. Then that app need to be like it's maybe a browser base or maybe like a store app, or maybe like a, we are going to install that app on that device. Then, like we need to create a kiosk profile, we need to create in the configuration profiles, we need to choose the template is for the kiosk, we need to choose. Then, like in the kiosk settings also, we need to specify single app and full screen. Like that mode we need to specify. So then, that would be open that app in that device. In the full screen, we are going to get that. Then we are going to attach that profile to the users, and we are going to disable also taskbar, start menu, and the Windows Control Alt Delete, Alt Tab. So these all we are going to disable those settings. Then we are assigning that profile to the devices or device groups, and that device need to be joined to Enter ID or a hybrid environment we are going to perform. So even we can disable the command prompt, registry settings, USB storage, all these also we can disable. So then only our own device only, sorry, our own app only we can deploy. Okay, so for this we need to choose single app full screen mode profile we need to choose, and that need to be assigned to the users. Okay, so these settings we need to apply. So then here we have the next question is here we need to enforce Windows Hello for business, for the like a hybrid joined, means from the Enter ID, those devices are uh, like those devices are joining from the local AD, and we have the Enter ID sync is there. Then how to enforce that like a Windows Hello for business. So this is we need to like even in the Azure AD itself in the devices, this policy need to be enabled. Windows Hello for business need to be enabled, and from the group policies also for the local devices. From the local policies also we need to specify so from that we can deliver uh, like a Windows Hello for business we can deploy. Okay, so now here what is this Windows Hello for business is? It's a passwordless authentication for the devices. Okay, so this feature is called as like a passwordless authentication. No need to store the user passwords, even credential theft, all these we are going to be not going to be used. We are going to use the certificates, and using the key pairs we can integrate, and even single sign-on also we can set up, and even we can integrate the multi-factor kind of thing through the PIN and biometrics we can set up. So which is more secure than the passwords kind of things. So these kind of environment we need to set up for our like a hybrid kind of environment. So then we need to enforce through the Intune, and even with the group policies, Azure AD, all we have. So with this we need to set up like a Windows Hello for business. So in the Azure AD, in the devices, we have the policy. Okay, so for that we need to enable Windows Hello for business. We need to enable. So these settings we need to set up on the Azure AD wise, and even in the Intune wise also we have the endpoint security. We need to create the policy for that PIN requirement, biometric, hardware security, all these we need to enable. If it is a local device, we need to apply like one group policy is there for this. From the administrative templates, that group policy we need to set up. And with the multi-factor authentication from the AD, we need to provide the conditional access. So these all like we will provide. Then user is going to be login with the passwordless is going to be login. Passwordless, we are going to log into this. Then here, like we need to design any of the disaster recovery, maybe it's because uh, like Intune is a SaaS-based kind of thing. Sometimes Intune service like maybe down. Okay, so that means from the Microsoft wise, Intune service is down. Okay, then how to manage the devices. Say suppose we need to plan for the like a disaster kind of recovery. Say suppose we have the Intune devices are using from the SaaS base, then we need to manage if the Intune service is down from the Microsoft wise, if the Intune service is down, if the for the already enrolled devices, maybe like Intune policies, those are stored on the local device. From that, even if the Intune device is down, like the device is going to be enforcing those kind of conditional access and the compliance policies, security baselines. Okay, so maybe we have enabled the BitLocker kind of enforcement, Wi-Fi profiles, that certificates for the conditional access. All those are going to work. But whenever we have that like a support for the Microsoft 365, those will have like dependency. Okay. Say, but if the device is already recognized as the compliance, it will support, but we can't enroll for the new devices. Means for the existing devices, we don't have any problem at that moment. So for the high availability, but we may have because Microsoft wise, if it is down, outage maybe sometimes we may have. At that moment, if we have a hybrid kind of environment, we need to use the co-management also we need to use. And we need to use the group policies for the on-premises devices. So with that, we can enforce. Okay, and even we can have a local admin kind of user also. We can manage our emergency account also. If those enrollment policies are stuck with the Intune, at least with these local policies, we can affect. So what we need to answer is, if the Intune services goes down, for the existing devices, we don't have any problem. But for the new enrollment process, we'll have some uh, challenges would be there. And conditional access also protects over the Azure AD. But for the new enrollment process and policy updates, maybe like it's need to wait till that Intune service is restored. But if you want to plan for the disaster kind of setup, need to plan. We need to use SCCM and we need to apply the GPOs also. So from this we can integrate. Okay, now here. So now here we need to manage. We have the Intune service endpoints. We have with the APIs or with those also we can integrate with Microsoft Cloud. How we are going to integrate and how the URL ports like all those like prerequisites also we'll discuss. So now here, like we need to allow how the URLs are going to be communicated. So by default, Microsoft will give the documentation for all the like portals, enrollments, and all those endpoint URLs. And coming to the ports and protocols, we need to open 443 and UDP for the time synchronization 123, UDP port 123, TCP port 80. All these need to be open, and we need the certificates also, like with the on-premises certificates, we need to integrate, and even Windows update service, and for the Android, Apple, those MDM push, those also we require 443. These all we need to open. Okay, so Intune devices are communicating over the 443, and it's going to communicate with the Microsoft endpoints also, like manage.microsoft.com, graph.microsoft.com, login.microsoft.com, and there are some of the endpoint URLs also has been provided for the REST APIs or for Graph API also. It's going to be communicating, say with those kind of devices, it's going to communicate. So these all the port numbers, all these also we need to open as per our requirement. Then here in our organization, like we need to provide the multiple clients and service providers we need to manage. So we need to design an Intune multi-tenant setup. So by default, we have a single tenant we have work, but even it supports like a multi-tenant with the separate Intune instances. We have the multiple service providers we have. Then, each client, they have their own Azure AD tenant and Intune instance we have. So like this, we can manage. Say here, we need to delegate the administration to the different tenants we are going to use, and from the partner centers we can manage. So we have the multiple tenants we have to handle the multiple centralized monitoring, administration, those we required. But again, licensing wise, we'll have the problems because each client want their own licensing is required. Okay, so that's some of the problems we have. But we need to use Azure Lighthouse is also one of the product for this. Azure Lighthouse also. So we have the problem. Okay, so now here one issue we have is uh, uh, device is is showing as a complaint. So device is showing as a complaint, Intune wise, but like a Azure AD wise, like it is blocking. Okay, say here, all the compliances have been are matching, and even in the Intune wise, the device has been shown as compliance. But we may be delay with the synchronization, maybe delay we may have. That's we need to check that compliance state, uh, like uh, um, any sync is delayed, or Azure maybe Azure AD wise it's not synced properly and it's still showing as a non-compliance or unknown kind of thing also we may have, and some policies also, like any of the conflict of the policy settings we have, and in the in the Azure AD wise device duplicate entries are there. So these all the problems we may have, and like risk protection. The device may be compliance, but identity protection on top of device compliance, Azure AD may be verifying those, and license issues we may have. So with all these problems, we need to review our Azure AD policies. We need to review, and conditional access policies we need to review. So based on this, here we are going to manage what exactly the risk, and any Azure, if it is a hybrid environment, like any group policies also we have the conflicts, and whether the device has been joined properly or not. and forcefully we need to sync or re-register the device, and any risk at the user level, any risk are there. So these all we need to check that. Okay, so definitely from the AD wise also, all those policies need to be synced. So then only it's going to be like allowed. Then here we have the multiple policies we have. Then so we need to apply multiple configuration policies and we have a conflict of policies are getting how that is going to be applied. Like we need to will get those kind of scenarios also. So now here we have like we have the different policies have been applied, and we have the conflict of the policies and the policy kind of like settings we have like how we can manage so those kind of settings also how we are going to be enforced. So definitely first we need to review what are the policies we have. First we need to review all those policies and what are the policies are setting and what are the sources of those policies. We need to check that, and we will try to merge them uh, the resultant set of policies like Intune will try to merge those policies. Okay, then if we have any conflict of policies we have, then we need to always in the policies wise what is the thing is which of the policy we have applied lastly, mostly that policy is going to be wins. That means last right policy is always wins within the Intune kind of policies. And compliance policies wise, which is having the most restrictive kind of setting, that setting itself will work. Okay, and if you have any security kind of policies, and if the endpoint security, what are the settings we have, that settings will have the higher precedence. Okay, and if you have GPO versus Intune, always GPO wins if any conflict occurs. Okay, so normal Intune CSP wise, policies wise, the last policy which we have applied, that is will take the precedence. The compliance wise, which is having more restrictions on the policy level, that policy will have the higher precedence. And from the security baseline and endpoint security policies, like what we have on the endpoint security settings itself, we have that will take the precedence. And if there is any conflict between GPO versus Intune, GPO would be taken. So now I have a required pin length. One policy is specifying 6 characters. Another one is telling 8 characters. So definitely security wise, which is having more restrictions is 8 characters. Then that 8 characters will be there. Okay. And even BitLocker encryption also. So we required pin plus TPM. Then that policy will have more precedence. Okay, so then some Wi-Fi kind of profiles, those two policies, we have two profiles, then both are going to be merged. Okay, so like this here, if any configuration profiles we have, which of the policy we have last right wins, compliance policies most restrictive wins, and endpoint security will have the high priority. In the hybrid environment, GPO will have the high priority. So like this, if there is any of the conflicts are coming, according to these settings, the policy merging is going to happen. The policy merging is going to happen. Okay, so then we need to manage we have the multiple branches we have. But say suppose my country rules and we need to manage uh, like means Indian rules are different, US rules are different. The same company, Uh, but we don't have is like multiple tenants for US and India. Like we need to manage from the single like tenant itself. We want to control even like the policies while applying these users. Like we need to manage those compliance policies. And even the compliance wise also where the data we are going to store also, so we need to manage. That means whenever we have based on our policies, we need to apply the like locations also. So that means we have strict restrictions. Say suppose Indian government kept all Indian user data need to be kept in the Indian locations itself. So this kind of security we have. Okay, that's we need to manage in which location we are going to keep. Regionally, we are going to keep the drive or share point kind of thing. And multi-geo, 365 ways also we are going to manage region-specific kind of storage, because from the Europe we have very strict laws, like these kind of things need to be stored in the Europe data centers itself. Maybe India is allowing, but Europe we have very strict laws. Like we can't keep those data in the like uh, in the US we can't store that data. So then definitely device grouping also we are going to manage based on the region we are going to manage, and we are going to create the different compliance policies, configuration policies and app policies depends upon the region we are going to manage. Then like if the any device maybe from the from England or somewhere the device login, then it's going to get that certificates and that Wi-Fi settings. And if the US device login, US settings, all those also we are going to manage. And even like using the Microsoft Compliance Center purview also we need to use for the data flows. That is also we need to set up. Okay, so that means we don't have multiple tenants for the different regions. We have the single tenant itself, but still we can enforce that kind of requirements by using multiple data centers, and we need to provide the locations. Then we need to create the groups region wise. We need to create those groups, and we need to apply the compliance and the configuration policies based on the groups we need to use. And we need to enforce that auditing, all these also we need to set up with the purview we need to specify. Okay, so that's like this we need to enforce these kind of requirements we need to apply for the users. Okay, so tomorrow we'll come to this automation means again the PowerShell itself. So that PowerShell integration, how we can do like Graph API, those all we'll discuss in the tomorrow session. Okay, even for the third party products integration also, that would be more useful for us.